I'm Nikki Moore, author by the sea. I live in beautiful Dorset and I write romance as Nikki Moore, published by HarperCollins. I'm also releasing a new book called The Charm Bracelet in August this year under the pen name Ella Albright. Thanks for joining me on the vlog today, and thank you so much for the support I've had and the messages. It's really great to know that me sharing my experiences of publication and writing is kind of helping other people out there, and it's of interest to people, so thank you for that. So the topic for today's vlog, in a way it's a bit of an extension of last week. So last week's vlog I was talking about authors and the expectations of them to use social media, and I know that for some people it's a bit of a love-hate. Some people love using social media, sharing their opinions, their views, bits of their lives and of themselves, and other people really hate it. They don't like being visible, they're not quite sure what to say and what to do. And I completely appreciate that, and I can only ever talk for myself, and obviously on my vlog I'm sharing my personal views, and that doesn't mean that I'm right about what other people should do. I'm here to just share my experience, and if people find it beneficial, then that's great, and I'm really happy about that. But if people choose not to follow my advice and to ignore my writing tips, then that's all right as well, because it's that personal choice. So last week I did talk about the expectations by agents and publishers, and to a degree readers, for authors to be on social media, to be making themselves visible, to be connecting with people. And I do truly believe that's really important, but it is a personal choice, as I said. There's been a bit of a furore on Twitter over the last few days about readers or reviewers or bloggers tagging authors on social media, so on Facebook or Twitter, and I did respond to that, and I feel really strongly about it actually, which is why I wanted to make this week's topic about appreciating readers, reviewers and bloggers. So basically what happened was that an author had tweeted to say that she felt that, well, actually the wording was authors don't like being tagged in reviews and it's considered rude. The first thing I'd say is that, in the way that I've just said, when I talk in my vlog, it's my personal opinion. When you're on social media, what you're saying is it's your opinion, you're talking about how you feel about something, and I strongly feel that you shouldn't speak for other people. So if you'd taken her tweet at face value, you would believe that all authors feel that way, that whether a review is good or bad, authors don't like being tagged. And I can only talk for myself here, and I did respond to her and I said, I respectfully disagree. Actually when people tag me in reviews, I'm happy to hear from them, and why wouldn't I want to thank the people that read my books and appreciate them? And part of the reason that I keep on writing and telling stories. And there's been a lot of people weighed in, and there's a lot of things flying around, and it has to a degree got a little bit nasty, and there's been quite a backlash. A lot of bloggers feel strongly about it, a lot of authors feel strongly about it. So I wanted to talk about my experience of readers and reviewers and bloggers today, book bloggers, and actually kind of share what I think and feel, and a few rules I guess that I've got for myself. First of all, I would say that as an author, I am happy to be tagged. What I would say is that it's enormously difficult, and it can be upsetting if what you're being tagged in is a 1 or 2 star review. I've been really lucky, and actually I haven't really had that experience. I think the worst one I've ever been tagged in was a 3 star, which meant that someone felt a bit meh about my book. And yes, it hurts. There's a part of being an author that you have to kind of toughen up a bit, and that goes right back to, I did a vlog about dealing with rejection, and it's just a normal part of authorly life. That means that, you're putting yourself out there, you're kind of leaving yourself vulnerable to people, saying no and rejecting you, and in the same way you're leaving yourself vulnerable to people not liking your book. And at the end of the day, I think that books are subjective, and everyone reads the book in a different way. And everyone will either like or dislike or enjoy or not enjoy a book for different reasons. What I would say is that everyone's entitled to their opinion. Now, I do think you have a responsibility that if you are saying something that's, not going to feel nice for the person on the other end, you need to take responsibility for actually sending that message out and the consequences. And by that I mean that, at the end of the day, writers are writing stories that they feel passionate about, that they invest a lot of personal time, And to have someone say, actually, I didn't enjoy your book, you know, I only gave it a 1 or 2 star review, of course that's going to upset them. A lot of authors won't respond to reviewers or people that say things like that. And to a degree, that's what we're kind of told to do. We're told not to rise to it. But you need to know that there is a person behind that book, a person whose feelings are going to be hurt. One of the rules that I personally use, and you have to remember that I'm not just an author, I'm an avid reader. I absolutely love reading. If I'm not writing, or, you know, in the day job or the housework, the family, seeing friends, I'm normally reading, and, you know, I often have ebooks and paperbacks and hardbacks and an audio book, you know, all on a go at the same time. I take pride in reviewing books, and I do tag authors that I've written a review for. And I've got to say that my experience has been that 9 times out of 10, that author will come back to me and say, thank you for the review, I appreciate it. Or they'll retweet the review, you know, they'll share it with their followers. So from that, I take it that in the same way as an author, I appreciate reviews, you know, as a reader, my review is appreciated. What I think we need to think about is the fact that, for me, it should be a symbiotic relationship. And by that I mean that if writers didn't write stories, then readers and reviewers and book bloggers wouldn't have anything to read and to review and to blog about. And in the same way, you know, if readers aren't looking at our books, and if reviewers aren't reviewing them on Amazon or other sites, and if book bloggers aren't blogging about them and spreading the word, then actually how do we get our stories out there to reach a wider audience? So for me, the relationship should be one of, you know, shared appreciation and mutual respect. So one of my rules is I wouldn't put anything on social media that I wouldn't feel comfortable saying to someone's face. So, you know, would I walk up to someone at a party and say, you look awful today, your outfit is horrible, you look a mess? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. And would I go up to someone who's got a baby in a pushchair and say, your baby's really ugly? No, I wouldn't. And for me, that's the same thing as if I read a book and I feel like it only deserves a 1 or 2 star review. If I feel really, really strongly about it, I might post that review on Amazon. I don't normally, if I'm honest. What I feel is actually that book wasn't for me for a number of reasons. And where I do post a review that's maybe not very many stars, I'll try and give a really constructive idea as to why it was that way. And for me, it would be, you know, for instance, the quality of writing wasn't there or the story didn't make sense. But it's actually very rare, as I said, that, you know, I feel that strongly that it's a 1 or a 2 star and I'll actually review it. But I always, you know, I'd always think about, is this something I would feel comfortable saying to someone's face? So I would just urge people to be kind and to be respectful of each other. And if they're going to post a bad review, consider not tagging the author in it, because that's going to be deeply personal for the author and there is a person behind that. What I am for is freedom of speech. So, you know, you have to decide for yourself what is the right thing to do. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm sharing with you, these are the rules that I live by. And I always think about the person on the other end. You know, we have to think about our impact on other people. I've always been lucky with reviewers and readers and bloggers, and actually I feel like the reason the Love London series was so popular in part was because I had, you know, great people behind the series. They liked the stories, they enjoyed them, and people spread the word. And I really appreciated that. And I try to always say thank you. If someone, you know, if there is a way that I can say thank you, you know, on Amazon you can kind of like comments. I tend to not do that, but certainly if someone's approached me on Facebook or Twitter or some other way, I would always say thank you for letting me know. Thanks for letting me know that you enjoyed the book. So I've been incredibly lucky, and I'm going to give a shout out to Rachel Gilby, who runs Rachel's Random Resources. It's kind of promo for writers, and she's going to help me with a cover reveal and a blog tour for the charm bracelet when those things happen. And so I truly appreciate the people that are going to help us do that. So one thing I think we need to be really clear on is that actually maybe there's a misnomer that reviewers or book bloggers, you know, make lots of money from what they're doing. Actually, it's often not the case. Most people are reviewing books and posting their reviews because they love to read. You know, they almost feel it's a privilege to be able to get hold of advanced review copies or advanced reader copies. and to read and review those books and to support an author and help them on their journey and to spread the word about this great story. They don't make loads of money out of it, if at all. Most of them just do it for the joy of it. And on the other side, writers, we spend enormous amounts of time and hours of our lives writing these stories, and often we don't make much money from them. Often it's kind of 12, 15, 25 pence, a copy for an ebook, depending on what the price is being set at. So we're not in it for the money. Most writers don't make even the minimum wage, and that's why a lot of people have the day job. We do it for the joy of sharing our stories with people. So I think we just need to have an appreciation of that. So I want to say a big thank you to readers, reviewers and bloggers, that have helped me in the past and that help other authors and are there to continue spreading the word. And I think that writers need to be appreciated for the stories that we tell and what we're trying to do. And so I feel that symbiotic relationship is really important. I hope that's been useful. I do feel strongly about this. I'd love to hear from you what you think, and hopefully I'll see you next week. Take care of yourselves and have a great week. Bye.